My hometown only had two rules that mattered: don't swim in the quarry, and don't go past the fence by the tracks. Everyone learned those before they learned long division. It was a small town, southern Alabama, the kind that shut down by 9, smelled like red clay and gasoline in the summer. In 1995, nothing ever felt urgent there. We had one blinking traffic light, a Piggly Wiggly, and a high school football team everyone pretended was the center of the world. News came in late, if at all, and whatever happened outside the county line might as well have been on another planet. The fence sat behind the old feed store, where the road narrowed and the gravel changed color. It was rusted, bent in places, with a sign zip-tied to it that said "Restricted Land, No Trespassing," in red letters that had faded to pink. Past it was scrub grass, the slope of dirt, and then the train bridge stretching over the river like a rib cage. We went there anyway. I was 15 the summer Ryan disappeared. Old enough to feel responsible, young enough to believe nothing permanent could happen yet. That was the age where adults started trusting you with small things: keys, errands, the truth about why people left town, and you mistook that trust for confidence. I'd learned how to sound certain even when I wasn't. Learned how to say, "It'll be fine," in a way that made other people believe me. I didn't know yet that confidence and judgment are different skills. Ryan was 14. He lived 2 streets over from me, in a house that always smelled like laundry detergent and something burned. His mom worked nights at the hospital in the next county. His dad had already left by the time anyone thought to ask questions. The rules about the tracks weren't written down anywhere. They were just understood. Rule 1, you only go during the day. Rule 2, you never step onto the bridge itself. Rule 3, if you hear a train horn, you leave immediately. Rule 4, you don't tell adults you've been there. And Rule 5, unspoken, but the most important, you don't bring anyone who doesn't understand the rules. What no one ever said out loud was that the rules weren't meant to keep you safe. They were meant to keep things the same. If you followed them, life stayed small and predictable. If you didn't, something slipped out of place, and the town didn't know how to put it back. We didn't think of that as danger back then. We thought of it as consequences. I broke rule number 5. We went because there wasn't anywhere else to go. The park had cameras after someone spray painted the pavilion. The quarry had taken a kid's leg in the 90s, and no one ever let that story die. The tracks were the only place that felt like it belonged to us. Hidden, but not secret. Dangerous, but only if you were stupid. That's what we told ourselves. The bridge wasn't in use anymore, not officially. Trains still ran through town, but they used the newer line west of the river. This one was inactive, which was adult language for "we don't want to deal with it." Still, sometimes a train would come through. No schedule, no warning, just the low vibration in your feet if you were paying attention. We said that was part of the thrill. That afternoon, it was just me and Ryan, late July, heat sitting heavy on everything. Cicadas loud enough to feel inside your jaw. Ryan ducked under the fence first, pushing it down with his shoulder, the way everyone did. I followed, catching my shorts on a wire that scratched my thigh. "You good?" he asked. "I'm fine," I said, even though it stung. We always sat on the flat rock near the embankment. You could see the underside of the bridge from there, the metal beams layered with rust, old graffiti half painted over by newer tags. Someone had written "Stay off" in black spray paint, like a warning or a joke. Ryan had brought a notebook. He was always writing things down that summer: song lyrics, lists, names of people who'd moved away. "You gonna read me one?" I asked. "Maybe," he said, not looking up, "if it's good." That was Ryan, always acting like things could be improved if you waited long enough. We stayed longer than we should have. The sun shifted, and the bugs got louder. I remember thinking we should head back before my mom got home from work. That's when Ryan stood up. "I just want to see it from closer," he said. I didn't stand, and I should have. I stayed on the rock, brushing dirt from my palms. "Closer is fine," I said, "on the path." He nodded, smiled like he always had when he thought I was being overprotective. "I know the rules," he said. The path curved up toward the bridge, but stopped short of it, worn down by decades of kids pretending they weren't breaking any laws. From there, you could see the river through gaps in the beams. Brown water, slow moving, not deep, but deep enough. Ryan walked ahead of me, then slowed. "Hey, do you hear that?" I listened. Light wind, bugs. Somewhere far off, a truck. "I don't hear anything," I said. He tilted his head like he was trying to catch a sound just under everything else. "It's probably nothing," he said, kept going. That's the moment that plays in my head now. Not the disappearance, not the search, just that sentence. "It's probably nothing." He stepped past the point where the dirt met the old wooden ties, not onto the bridge, just close enough that the ground felt different under your shoes. Firmer. Wrong. "Ryan," I said, "that's close enough." He turned, one foot still forward. "I'm not on it," he said. "Look." I should have yelled. I should have grabbed him. I should have done something that matched the way my chest felt. Instead, I said, "Okay, just don't go any further." I hear that sentence differently now. Not as a warning, but as permission. I was the older one, the one who'd been there more times. When I didn't move, when I didn't raise my voice, I handed the decision to him and told myself that was respect. It took me years to understand that sometimes being older just means being the last person who can stop something. He nodded again. Then there was a sound. Not a horn, not yet. A vibration, low, like a truck passing nearby, except there was no road close enough for that. Ryan's face changed, not panic, recognition. "Do you feel that?" he asked. "Yes," I said. "Is it?" The horn cut through everything. Close, too close. "Run," I said. He turned toward me. That's the last time I saw him whole. I don't know exactly what happened next. I remember the sound getting louder, metal screaming, the bridge shaking. I remember ducking, hands over my head, heart pounding so hard it felt like it might knock me over. When I looked up, the train was already on the bridge. I hadn't seen it approach. Somehow we hadn't heard it. 1 second it wasn't there, and the next it filled everything. I screamed his name. I know I did, because my throat hurt afterward. But Ryan wasn't on the path anymore. He wasn't on the bridge. He wasn't anywhere I could see. The train passed. It took forever. Each car rattling like it was counting something. When it was gone, the quiet felt wrong, heavy. I ran to where Ryan had been standing. The dirt was scuffed. One footprint half smeared, his notebook lay near the ties, pages fluttering. There was no blood. No Ryan. No sign of him slipping. No splash in the river below. Just absence. The adults said a lot of things after. They said he must have panicked. They said kids make bad decisions. They said trains don't just take people without leaving something behind. The police asked me the same questions over and over, like the answers might change if they wore me down enough. "Did he step onto the bridge?" one of them asked. "No," I said. "Are you sure?" he pressed. "Yes," I said, because that was the truth as I remembered it. They searched the river. They searched downstream. They checked the hospitals in 3 counties. Nothing. Eventually, the searches stopped. The flyers came down. School started again. People looked at me differently after that. Not cruelly, just carefully. Like I was something fragile that reminded them of a mess they'd cleaned up. Ryan's mom moved away after winter. The fence by the tracks got repaired. New sign, brighter red letters. No one mentioned the rules anymore. They didn't have to. I'm 32 now. I moved back last year when my mom got sick. I drive past the feed store on my way to the grocery store every week. The bridge is still out there, rusted, quiet. Sometimes when I'm stopped at the light nearby, I feel that low vibration under my feet, even when no train comes. Last week, I walked down to the fence for the first time in years. The sign was peeling at the corners. Someone had written something underneath it in marker. Did you hear it too? I stood there longer than I should have. I didn't go past the fence. I know the rules.